Time for another look at what's new on Board Game Geek. What's up, Brew Crew? Welcome back to Beer City Board Games. I'm Clay, and we're going to be taking a look at another set of games that were added to the Board Game Geek website over the last week. Let's go ahead and jump right in. And we're starting off this week with a theme of Manatee, I suppose. The first one I have is Manatee Sanctuary. Now, this game has some really cool artwork from Andrew Bosley. It is a game about trying to create the best manatee habitat to attract them, the most of them, into your sanctuary. And it uses two mechanisms that I really like. One is I Split You Choose, where I'm going to decide how the different sets are laid out, but you get to pick which set you take first. I think that's a really great mechanism. It's so simple, but it makes for such tough decisions. And then on top of that, it also uses multi-use cards, which I really love. It's one of my favorite mechanisms in board gaming, multi-use cards. So really excited to check out Manatee Sanctuary. And then we've got I Heart Manatees, which is a game by Eric Lang. Looks like this is a significantly smaller game than what he is maybe most known for, but I have played several of his smaller box games, and I think he is a fantastic designer no matter what size game he's designing. This one is a tile placement game. Looks like there's maybe a little bit of Take That, so I'll have to see how much of that is in here to see if it's something that I'm actually going to enjoy or not. But the fact that it's got Eric Lang's name on the box, that's enough for me to at least check it out. So I Heart Manatees. Up next is Zoomies. This is I love the theme. It's all about taking dogs to the dog park, which that alone is enough to have me interested. I'm definitely a dog person. We've got plenty of cat games out there. There's a few dog games out there, but I would like to see it catch up, I guess. But this is a hand management and tile placement game where you're building patterns, I guess, trying to help the dogs to make friends and collect bones and get the zoomies, which I'm very interested to see what that means. I mean, I know what it means, but I'm very interested to see how it works in the game. And yeah, I love the idea of this theme, so I can't wait to see how that one actually plays out. It sounds like it's kind of a domino style game, so I'm very curious to check out Zoomies. And you guys know I love my horror movies, so up next I've got Ghostland, which is a game about ghosts destroying a theme park. The description describes it as Jurassic Park with ghosts. So that's intriguing. I guess you are working to try to recapture these ghosts. The cover looks like a movie I would watch 100%. It's pretty spooky, maybe a little campy. We'll have to see, but I can't wait to check out Ghostland. And then we've got The Cursed Artifact. Now this game obviously borrows a little bit from Indiana Jones and that series of movies. But in this game, it sounds like you are a bunch of adventurers traveling around the globe and trying to obtain powerful artifacts that can be used to kind of sway the outcome of World War II. Which, number one, that's a theme that I am very interested in. I love that concept. Indiana Jones, Hellboy, things like that, where it's historically grounded, but a little bit of supernatural things going on in the background too. I love when those two things are mixed, and so I love the theme. And then it looks like there's a little combination of card play and dice rolling in order to get these artifacts. I'm hoping that the dice rolling isn't as simple as just roll to resolve. I hope there's some sort of dice mitigation that can go on there. But sounds interesting. I also like the fact that it sounds like some of the relics are cursed as well, obviously, based on the name. So it sounds like maybe there's a little bit of, I don't know if it's take that or if it's more like a hot potato mechanic. We'll have to wait and see, but sounds cool. Can't wait to check it out. The Cursed Artifact. Okay, and I'm going to try to pronounce this one. It does not have an English title next to it. Patinos de Borracha. It sounds like this is themed around sending ducks, rubber ducks, down a water slide. Love it. Now, when my kids were young, we had a game called Spooky Stairs, which was all about trying to race up these set of stairs, but at certain points, your pawn would get covered by ghosts, and you couldn't always tell which one was yours after multiple moves and swaps. And it sounds like this does something a little bit similar to that, where you are trying to race your duck to the end first, but you may not know necessarily where your duck is, so you're trying to remember. Now, normally I'm not a huge fan of memory in games like this, but for something so silly and something so kind of playful, and it looks like it's a fairly short game, 30 to 60 minutes. It sounds like one that I would actually have a lot of fun playing. I'm willing to bet there's a ton of laughs to be had in this one. Up next, one of the games that I am most excited that was added this week, Beyond the Horizon. Now, this is coming out from Cranio Creations and the team of Adam Hill, Ben Pinchback, and Matt Riddle, which is phenomenal to start, but add to that the fact that they are working with Dennis Chan, who designed Beyond the Sun. Beyond the Sun was one of my favorite games of 2020. And on top of that, it looks like, so this has a little bit of area majority and some worker placement going on, but it also has the tech trees, which the tech trees of Beyond the Sun were what made it one of my favorite games of 2020. So I don't know if this is maybe the beginning of some kind of series, beyond the series, but very curious to check it out, see how it plays, and see if it compares at all to Beyond the Sun. Looks like this one has a theme of civilization building, which is something that I also enjoy. So really excited to check it out, Beyond the Horizon. And then we have maybe one of the most unique games that I've ever had on one of these lists, City of Six Moons. This is designed by Amabel Holland and published by Hollandspiel. And that's about all I know, aside from the fact that the rulebook comes in symbols, and you get the rulebook and the pieces to play the game, but the game is kind of figuring out how to play the game also. It's such a weird concept, but I'm so intrigued by it. Honestly, when I first looked at this, I didn't think I would be interested. It's a solo-only game. Alien civilization, it was kind of like, oh yeah, it sounds okay. But the idea of trying to figure out how to play the game and then play the game is kind of mind-boggling to me. And I don't know if I'd be able to do it, but I'm really interested to try. So I think I have to check out City of Six Moons. And here we have Golden Cup. And this is one that, again, almost didn't make my list because I typically tend to find that sports-themed games don't work well for me. But this one is co-designed by Simone Luciani, who has put out some of my favorite games recently. So I at least got to check it out. And it looks like it adds some elements of deck building, or pool building, or bag building of some sort. BGG doesn't really specify, but it also has a finale ending, which it sounds like the two players with the highest scores will play each other in a final round and try to outscore the other one, and the winner of that finale wins. Now, I don't know if that's something that I'll end up liking, the fact that two people will continue to play while the rest of the players just sit out, I guess. But I'll be curious to see if Simone Luciani can make it work. And last but not least, this week we've got Wrath of Fire Mountain. Now, this is designed by Eric Lang and Phil Walker Harding, who are two designers that I think are some of the best at really developing a game and honing it down to just a very smooth experience. So, very excited to check that out. It looks like there's some custom dice going on. It sounds like there's multiple paths you can take. Maybe a little bit of area control, maybe some special powers that you can get. I don't know too much. I guess you could say that about just about all of these games yet, because they're really new. But it sounds like you're going to be using your dice to determine your actions, and then from there, branching off into your different strategies. Again, between Eric Lang and Phil Walker Harding, I have a feeling this is going to be just a very elegantly designed game that I really can't wait to take a look at. Wrath of Fire Mountain. All right, everybody, that's all I have for you this week. In the comments down below, make sure to let me know which of these games you're interested in, or let me know if I missed one that you're excited to check out. And until next time, let's get another round for the table.